Well, it sounds like there's gonna be some crazy cameos and FLASHPoint. Well, yeah. So, according to articles from Bounding in the Comics and this Daniel RPK Reichman guy on Reddit, and Mikey Sutton again at Geekosity, there's all this, there's rumors coming about what could possibly appear. We already know that Ben Affleck will return as Batman in that film, probably for the final time. I'm not happy about that aspect of it, but that's probably the case. But the surprising thing was that Michael Keaton will reprise his Batman in the film. And he's like, wow, why would he be in there? Well, of course, this will be exploring the multiverse. More so than it's called FLASHPoint, and thought, oh, well, we get the FLASHPoint, which I would have thought would have been a really cool thing, but that's not what we're going to get, especially with the Aquaman versus Wonder Woman war story that was in there. And interesting thing about Ray Fisher, just a side note here, not all that crazy about Jeff Johns apparently wants him executed or something, or exiled at least. The odd thing about it is that the rumor is that he's not happy about this film and that his role is a very small one and more or less a cameo. And the odd thing about it is the actual FLASHPoint story, his character Cyborg played a very prominent role in that story. So kind of odd because that's Jeff Johns' story. It's funny how things work out, isn't it? But it won't be that. By all accounts, it won't be that. This will be more of an acknowledgement of the DC multiverse. And I think largely, with the exception of Affleck and Keaton, I think a lot of these cameos that we could get won't be all that consequential to the story. It'll just be, look, huh? Other than that, the possibility that Grant Gustin's Flash could appear. And this could be like a follow-up to what the CW TV shows did with their Crisis on Infinite Earths business, which is the same thing, more or less. And then, of course, Ezra made that appearance. So it stands to reason you could get, I'm pretty sure Grant Gustin's Flash will probably show up. Hopefully some actual scenes and dialogue between the two. But a lot of these cameos will probably just be that, cameos. And some of it might even be repurposed footage and stuff, I'm sure. They might even use some footage of the Christopher Reeve Superman films. And another thing about that is earlier on there was this rumor that they were testing a CGI version of Christopher Reeve's Superman, and they said, oh, it looked really impressive, and that I think that was supposed to be done for this Supergirl film they wanted to do set in the 70s, and apparently that was scrapped or shelved and all that, but there again, there's that testing of the special effects abilities, and so let's just use it in the Flash movie. And it's one of those things where it can be very, very similar to Grant Gustin's Flash TV series, where, you know, he's running through the Speed Force and all that, and you get glimpses of the things, and they did that with the John Wesley Shipp Flash before he actually appeared as himself, as that Flash character, and not just he did a Jay Garrick version as well. And also played Barry's father. But when they brought back his Flash from the early 90s show, but before they did that, they just used footage from that show in the Speed Force. He was running along, and, you know, Barry gets glimpses of other possibilities and timelines and worlds and whatnot. And so that's the thing they can do here, where you can have Christopher Reeve's Superman, you could have probably Adam West and Burt Ward as Batman and Robin, Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, on and on and on. All of that could appear in something like that. And so there you would go. But more than likely, this will be something of a reboot. As much as I don't like it, I don't think we'll be seeing Ben Affleck back again. Even though it might just be Affleck himself. He's just dead set against it. Maybe that's what it is. Because I'm pretty sure if he wanted to, AT&T would sign him up in a heartbeat. Because this is looking more like either they'll merge it to where Pattinson's Batman will be their official Batman going forward, because obviously Gal Gadot and Momoa will remain as Wonder Woman and Aquaman because their franchise is successful, And then there's this big push of wanting Henry Cavill back. There's the rumor that he's already signed a deal. We don't know if that's confirmed or not. I mean, it hasn't been, so we don't know if that's true or not. But it stands to reason because he's the favorite to be Superman again, and that they would pair him up. That was another rumor that AT&T would like to see him paired up with Robert Pattinson's Batman. I don't know that, just based on what we're seeing about the Batman film, I'm not sure that he's a good fit in that. It would work better as its own thing, and they have a trilogy of that style of Batman, and that perhaps there may be yet a third Batman. If Affleck is not interested in the role or playing it anymore, maybe he could be talked into directing a Batman series for HBO Max with a new younger actor playing that role, and maybe that's what they'll do. I don't know. But yeah, it's a shame for that. The other crazier things here is even films that never got off the ground, which was the Superman Lives movie that was supposed to star Nicolas Cage. It got pretty far along there. There's actually photos of him in the suit and everything. And that movie, it sounded really awful. So it's probably for the best it didn't happen. But that was supposed to be based on the death of Superman story in the comics. It probably wouldn't have resembled that at all. But the idea, apparently he was approached to portray his Superman for the CW show, if only briefly. But I guess he said, nah, come on. But maybe for the purposes of a film, maybe he would show up, but it would only be this sort of cameo thing. Maybe he'd get a few lines. I don't know. So they might throw that in there, and probably Brandon Routh could appear. And there's been a push for people, and I'm one of them, would like to see Brandon Routh's, especially his Kingdom Come version of Superman, get its own series. That would be cool. A bit more better written and structured and presented than what CW offers. Put that on HBO Max, and then that would be good. Brandon Routh is just, you can just see his joy and love for playing comic book characters, and so I would hope that would be a great thing to see. If that could happen. But so, boy, if they need another Superman to show up, he'll show up. He probably has the suit. And if there's a need for more Superman. As for Tom Welling, I don't know. He wouldn't put on the costume. That's his big rule. He will not wear the costume. And his storyline's been established. He doesn't have the powers anymore, from the Crisis on Infinite Earth, so he would just be Clark Kent. I don't know what he was, but just for the purposes of the nod to the fans of Smallville, I guess that's why they would want him in there. But then that would only be probably less than a minute of screen time, because the ultimate story is the Flash trying to save his mother and that sort of thing, and warping the universe. But ultimately, it sounds like it'll end like FLASHPoint did, in which he's able seemingly to restore his universe the way it was originally, but no, there's telltale signs that it's still different, if only a little. And that was one of the ideas of how, you could introduce your new Batman that way, where the Batman Flash goes to, in the comic book, he goes to Bruce Wayne and Batman the Batcave, but in this version, he takes the mask off, and it's not Ben Affleck, it's some new actor. So maybe that would be the case for that. They'll try to showcase and make the FLASHPoint a big advertisement for all their properties. They'll throw in the Teen Titans, maybe the Doom Patrol will show up, I don't know. But it had to keep it to a minimum to some of it. Some of these characters you could have him interact, and that would be cool. But it's a movie, basically. I imagine 2 hours, maybe a little more, and it has to stick to its character, and it is a Flash movie and to its initial plot, and what have you. Plus, whoever the villain is, the rumors are it'll be a female Mirror Master or a Reverse Flash, maybe another gender swap character. I don't know. It's all over the place with that. One of the two. I thought, like Reverse Flash, you'd have to be the Reverse Flash to make all this happen. But if it's Mirror Master using multiverse thing, it might not even involve a time travel element, other than Barry trying to to time travel to save his mother, and ultimately this causes him to go into another timeline or another universe and that sort of thing. Maybe that's how they'll handle it. I don't know. But yeah, they gotta get their own story, and you can't let all these overblown Easter eggs get in the way of the story. So I think the main thing will be Affleck probably as a bookend at the beginning of it, and then Keaton might actually play a bigger role in this, replacing the Thomas Wayne character from the original Flashpoint, and here he becomes this older Batman who helps out Barry in an attempt to put back what once went wrong. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, so expect a lot of cameos in there, whether they get them all or not, and even if they can't, yeah, they can repurpose footage for that very purpose of showing, look, it's a multiverse. So, in case you haven't gotten that message yet, that's pretty much what it's all about. But for the movie to work as a movie, you need to put more emphasis on its own plot and story, rather than just be a showcase advertisement for a DC multiverse movies and shows.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Slay. Why not like and subscribe and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores that have plenty of goodies for you. You know, hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.